T-shirt at the Texas convention is the I Stand with Arizona T-shirt.
I would like to see the state of Texas adopt a similar law to the one Arizona passed.
You're looking at the inmates in the tents. They're all convicted, doing their time. They're wearing pink underwear, striped uniforms, and it's 148 degrees here last month.
I'm 100% behind Debbie Brittle, who has the law already, the language is already stated, and it will be presented in the legislature, and I will be up there and I will be testifying in favor of that law.
I mean, the people that are coming across the border don't have the least bit of concern for America, I don't feel like. It's just not the kind of people that belong in the United States as far as I'm concerned.
Secure our borders! How many of the millions of illegals in this country have the same disease, the mental incapacity of the man that killed the 33 Virginia Tech members?
If you live in a neighborhood like I do, where there's chickens and goats and ducks and everything else that walks on four legs, running through the streets and in yards, if you have to live where the people have corn growing in their front yards, if you've got to live where people put their laundry on a fence, if you've got to live where your next-door neighbors don't even speak your language and refuse to try, you are a victim.
LIXI VID, and I'm from Mexico, and I came here 8 years ago from Mexico. Being in America makes you different, because you're exposed to all these different ideas that we're not exposed to. My parents applied for the papers like 10 years before I came here. It takes about 10 to 15 years for Mexicans to get legalized. My mother's family, everyone is here, and so they wanted to help us out, supposedly, and they were supposed to be here, my parents, before we were born. Family. I will never give that up, and I will never try to fit in somebody else's family. When I meet people from other cultures, it's good. And when I meet like white people, they have like different values concerning marriage, relationships, or how you should raise your kids. None of that stuff I will give up. You know, Mexicans have a way to raise your kids, have a way to, you know, marriage, the structure of the marriage, none of that. People, when they see me, they don't think I'm Hispanic. And there's so many times, oh, where are you from? Mexico? Oh my God, you look French. Oh, you look Russian. And then they say it as if, well, this lady actually last quarter said, you should pass as French. You should start saying you're French. As if I shouldn't be proud that I'm Mexican, or if I should be proud that I don't look Mexican. And this is more than stereotypes, or I don't think I've ever been a victim of a stereotype, hardly, but more than that, this, you know, I always get, oh, you should say you're Russian, oh, and I think it's really stupid, because I'm proud to be Mexican, and if people think Mexicans look a certain way, which they actually don't even know Mexicans can be light-skinned, Mexicans can be blue-eyed, or blonde, whatever. When I was in high school, I used to have this counselor, manager, whatever, and I had a friend that was from Iran, and we both came at the same time, same time. And I wanted to graduate from high school because I wanted to go back to Mexico, but he wouldn't let me take the classes because I was not capable. I was not going to do the classes well. I wanted to take chemistry, physics, and biology at the same time, the same year. And he said, no, you can't. No. And then he said it at the end, no, because you're Mexican, so you're going to take a little more time to learn. But he was giving the same classes to my other friend, the one from Iran. So, I could understand if he would have said, you cannot do the classes because you don't know enough English. No, but he actually said, because you're Mexican, it's going to take a little more time. I realized that in high school, I faced a lot more prejudice, or more stereotypes from teachers, from classmates. They'll treat you like a Mexican. The Mexicans in high school, actually, I just took a class, and they say that they'll smoke, they'll stay on the side, they dress alike, Mexican girls, flirty, easy, blah, blah, blah. And guys will come to me and tell me like stupid stuff, assuming that I would give in because I was Mexican, or assuming, or they will think, oh, you don't do marijuana? Oh my God, stereotypes they expect you to do, or as soon as you say Mexican, she does this kind of stuff. Americans think they're the only ones that have stereotypes, when actually we all have stereotypes, and I mean, as the immigrants have a really, really negative stereotype against the Americans. And we always think, well, they don't like family, they're so disconnected, they're very independent, I don't even know how to explain to you, the way they raise kids, not good mothers, no homish, they don't like being at home. And I just met a white guy, and actually he's like the first white friend I've ever met in the United States. And he just reinforced every single stereotype I had. It's okay to sleep around as many times as you want. He talks to his mother every 2 weeks, which I'll never ever heard any of my friends being so apart from their family for 2 weeks. Many stereotypes is in like, I shouldn't provide for the woman, whereas in Mexican culture, the man has to provide for the woman. I think that being in America and the fact that America has so many immigrants and has so many of your kind of people, that can share the same kind of values, if you stick to them, then you can keep yourself a little more than if you're with the Americans. All of my friends are immigrants, all of my friends are foreigners, and we can all agree on how family should be. We can all agree on how you should treat your parents. We can all agree how you should treat your boyfriend. And so if you're just hanging out with them, then there's not need for you to change, or there's not need for you to fit in. You know, I mean, my God could be, I'm Catholic, but if I'm hanging out with, let's say, a Muslim, well, we both share the belief that religion, and for both of us, religion is really important. So we can go that far. But if we go to someone that, like Americans, don't really have religion, in my point of view, so then that I cannot compromise.
Working with LIXI, I was able to right away see the irony in stereotyping, in the sense that a person only feels stereotyping as they receive it, and in most cases not as they give it. I give LIXI a great deal of credit for being able to identify her own stereotyping towards Americans and work towards dealing with that. And I also give her credit for acknowledging the difficulties in that. She had a great amount of, and this is what I found pretty profound, and what I took from this was that she had a great amount of belief and faith in her culture. And as we all understand that culture itself is a set, shared collection of attitudes and values and goals that characterize a group, she refused to compromise on her culture. She refused to compromise on her beliefs, and that's something that people that immigrate to America in many cases either give up or feel they have to give up in order to fit in and get along. I think that over time, she's only been here for a few years, I think over time that'll mellow. But she admitted herself she sticks around people that have the same beliefs as her, which is what a lot of people do. This is the whole reason why I had so many cutscenes in the beginning, to show large groups of like-minded people with like-minded beliefs about another people, whether they're true or accurate or not, reinforcing those beliefs amongst each other, and decisions such as the Arizona law, which is essentially targeting Hispanic Americans or Hispanics. How those laws are made when they're made by groups of people with like minds, even if the information is false or misleading. The important thing that I think everybody should take away from this video is that everybody stereotypes. Everybody stereotypes. Sometimes the stereotypes are based off of some small amount of fact that's exaggerated in a great amount. Sometimes they're based off of complete fabrication that was created due to some political purpose or some other sinister purpose. But the bottom line is, people, it's very difficult to get out there and learn about a person's culture separately when you can just wrap it up with a stereotype. And I hope people take that away from this video and understand that it's universal.